No organization is responsible for the content of this video. All errors and omissions are the sole responsibility of myself, David Iverson. This video must not be your only source of information. Please attend official USSA educational opportunities. Please download official USSA educational materials. Okay, so now we're ready to do some basic entering people into our race. And now one of the things that's really kind of hard to do is when you're actually going to make an example video, it's really hard to sort of pull a list of names out of your head of people who are valid USSA members. So what I'm going to do is I just went to vera.org, which has some pretty easy to find race results. And there's a George Tormey Spring Series race from last March at Smugs, and it's men and women. And so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to throw these people in as my competitors for the women's race. And then I go down here and I can throw these people in as competitors in my men's race. And so that's what I'm going to use to populate my race with. So now we're going to add competitors to the race. And so we were over in factors and lists, and I have the 14th national list from 2011 loaded up in my database for men and women. So now if I go over to competitors, I should just be able to go to insert, and I get this really daunting screen, but it's actually going to be really simple. My first person is going to be O'Brien. So we got O'Brien, and so we have Kevin D. O'Brien, and so that's my first competitor. And then I know that person, their club is going to be SMC. Okay, now I'm just going to position my cursor down here, and so now I'm just going to do a left click, and it's going to come up with the next competitor. And so I can do Malon, James, enter, MMSC, and then I can just go down to my next one, Riley, Sean, enter, and they are going to be MMSC. Well, I can also just hit page down. So here's my page down key. So if you have a page down key, you can just hit that. Pike, Jeffrey, and they are GMVS. And then Miller Luke. That one right there. And they are going to be MMSC. Okay, and so you can just see how this is done, and I'm going to basically add a whole bunch more in for you and come back to that. But we can also go over to the other side of things, and we can insert competitors this way. And again, what do we have for our names? Just got to find that list. Okay, so first one we've got okay. Now what I can do now, I just want to sort of show you something that I want to go really fast here. I want to just stop speaking and see how fast this can be. So I'm looking at these results, and I see that I've got several girls from SMS that I can look at right now. So I can go even faster. And so here's what I want to do. I'm going to be quiet. I'm just going to type because I want you to see what it looks like if I'm just working hard to get a race populated. Oh, that was, sorry. That was, there's two Nakamuras. Hang on. I don't want Mari, I want Mio. That's the one that I wanted. Mio Lynch. Oh, didn't do it right. Riley Alicia. Okay, so I could go faster than that. It's the summertime and I'm out of practice. Here I got somebody I made a mistake on, so I'm just going to delete them. And so as you saw, I was going pretty quick, but then here I put in the wrong Nakamura. So I put in Mari, but then I realized it's supposed to be Mio, so I just double click on it, go back, and I pull it back, and there it is. Okay, and then one other thing that I just sort of want to look at, so what I can do here is I can select these groups here, and if I select that group there, I can do a block edit, and they are all from SMS, and so it goes like that. Okay, and before I get away, this is a little bit advanced, but let's do another athlete here. Let's do Smith, and so there's lots of Smiths. So you've got a Chelsea Smith in your race. Well, is it a Chelsea E. Smith or is it a Chelsea M. Smith? You got a Lindsay Smith in your race. Is it a Lindsay E. Smith or is it a Lindsay Smith? Were they born in 1999 or were they born in 2000? Well, that's going to be a little bit of detective work. Lindsay Smith, who's in 1999, has an E number, so they're an Eastern skier. And Lindsay E. Smith has an I in front of their USSA number, so they are an Intermountain skier. So if you're watching this video and you are in Intermountain, you probably want Lindsay E. Smith, who's a 2000. If you are an Eastern race secretary, there's probably a good chance that Lindsay E. Smith did not come out from Intermountain. And so you probably have Lindsay Smith, who's a 1999, who's got an Eastern number. And then you can always, if you're really in confusion, the coach should know, and you should be able to figure it out. You can also get it from the USSA website under the member lookup. You can see what club they belong to. And so I think I'm going to stop this video and just take a second to look at that. So here we are looking at the USSA webpage, and I'm going to go to Membership Tools, Member Lookup, and I'm going to go Smith, Lindsay, and find, and here I've got an Intermountain and I've got an Eastern. And so these are kind of, right now we're in the middle of the summer, so they haven't really entered for the next year. Intermountain doesn't say what club they're from, but here's another little bit of information. This Lindsay Smith is from the Mohawk Valley Ski Team, and so if it makes sense that the Mohawk Valley Ski Team is showing up to my race, then it makes sense that this is the Lindsay Smith that I'm looking for. Okay, so then one final word on Lindsay Smith, and then I'm kind of done. I'll also notice that she actually doesn't qualify for this race because I'm running a scored race in the East. So it's a ones and twos race, and this Lindsay Smith is a J4. So I see right there that she's a J4. So she shouldn't be in this race at all. So I'm going to delete that out. Are you sure you want to delete this competitor? Yes. So now I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop the video and I'm going to add in a ton of racers into the race, and then we're going to go from there. So I took a break from the video and I added some more competitors into the race, and so now I've got a giant slalom that contains 40 competitors, and then for the men, and then I flip over and I've got 40 competitors for the women, and that should cover entering racers, and that should be enough to start building a start list and then start timing a race. So that is what I have to say about entering racers.